Hey folks, and welcome to the latest installment of Dave's Impressions. This time around, Bastion. Can you believe I've had this sitting in my Steam library since 2011? Backlogs, am I right? These impressions were taken from playing the game for around 1 hour. Enjoy! While everything in the world of Bastion is falling apart, the game itself is on solid ground. The play loop is short and rewarding. Fly to a new area, marvel at the pieces of landscape moving to and fro, fight enemies, acquire upgrades, grab the core and return to the Bastion. Use the core to create a new building. The new building benefits the player before they travel out to repeat the process. The Bastion is home. It's a safe space while the world outside crumbles and changes. There's a comfort to returning, and the comfort travels with us. The player is always hearing the voice of the stranger narrating their actions.
Kid sees a plane, frozen faces all around.
It lends a storybook quality to the tale. Everything is being told in the present tense, as if the story is being made up as we go along. It makes me wonder why the stranger is narrating our adventure. Being an isometric action game, my instincts for playing Diablo took over. I was throwing every ability I had at the enemies and not caring about my own safety. In those games, I've always found offense to be the best defense. Early on, the kid finds a shield, and shock, it is useful. Not only to block incoming projectiles from the defense towers, but it will stun enemies who attack it. There's even the possibility of a counter. I loved how defense was such a large part of the overall play strategy, even if I kept forgetting about it in the throes of battle. The concept of the right attack for the right occasion extends to loadout. The kid starts with a hammer and a repeater, but soon I found myself using the bow and the machete. The real choice is in the special attack, fueled by black tonics. What get-out-of-jail-free card do I want to use when the odds seem insurmountable? As nothing can be switched on the fly, it leaves the player to prioritize the weapons and abilities they feel the most comfortable with. But I would have liked an easier way to experiment as the game went on, as I assume the arsenal is only going to grow. While the level geometry shifting is a delightful effect, I did find myself getting caught on the corners, and it was far too easy to fall off the edge. The worst was the sundown path. It's an unstable landscape crumbling as we run through it. I found myself falling off islands, and the game repositioning the kid on another falling island, resulting in losing large chunks of health before I could reach safety. This was the most egregious example, but also the greatest amount of frustration I felt while playing. Even the combat onslaughts, getting caught in a loop of launching into the air due to hammer attacks, pales in comparison. So, what are my final thoughts on Bastion? Well, it's a strong first effort from Supergiant. There's a fairy tale tone to the game that comforts and intrigues, and we have a narrator to thank for it. There's enough variety in combat to keep it entertaining, and it doesn't detract from the presentation around it. I'm glad I played it after all these years. But what are your thoughts on Bastion? I'd love to hear them down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, why not buy me a coffee? There's a link in the description. If you'd like to help in other ways, please give the video a like or subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I hope you're all having a wonderful day.